So today, my family went to get our 3D 4D ultrasound. It's called a vanity ultrasound. It's not really necessary, but it gives you sort of what the baby's going to look like. Actually, pretty accurate because we did it with our firstborn. And, well, needless to say, it was a long drive to get there, and the video portion, the 4D portion, didn't come out, so we're gonna have to reschedule obviously and go do it again. But we did get quite a few pictures, and I may put one in this video just for the heck of it. But yeah, very interesting, pretty cool to see actually. He's got quite a nose on him. I don't know if it's gonna, I don't know how big it's gonna be. It just looked big on this video on this 4D. Just for the heck of it. But yeah, very interesting. Pretty cool to see actually. He's got quite a nose on him. I don't know if it's gonna, I don't know how big it's gonna be. It just looked big on this video on this 4D. They caught a couple of angles. I'm like, wow. My wife actually pointed out he's got a big nose. But you know, it's all relative. Those things are all blown up. But we'll see. We'll see when he's born. So anyway, I was doing I made a video last night talking about socialized medicine a little bit about what I think I would like to see done here, and what some of the problems are with the generations, starting with my generation growing up in the United States. And I was actually talking to a friend about it, and he brought up a good point, because I mentioned that I make it no secret in my videos that where I ended up really had little to do with a detailed plan to get there. It was more of making decisions at certain times that just happened to be really good decisions, the right decisions, and it worked out for me. I don't know, I don't know what to attribute it to other than just dumb luck. I mean, don't get me wrong, I was prepared. I mean, I went through training, and I did a lot of right things, but this wasn't something from childhood that I, wrote out a detail. Some people say, well, if you write things down, you're more likely to do it. If you set goals, you're more likely to do it on it. If you write it on a piece of paper, then you're more likely to do it. Well, I didn't do any of that stuff, and yet here I am. So anyway, so we were talking, and a good point. There are many people, not just on YouTube, but there are many people and people that live in this country. All know someone, or you may be this person, that when you're successful or relatively successful or doing okay, you tend to attribute that to something you did. Like, some people will say, I'm at this point in my life through preparation and elbow grease, or I worked my butt off and pulled myself up from the bootstraps, and look at me now. This is all attributed to my hard work and dedication. And the truth of the matter is, just as I say, I made a lot of decisions that just were the right decisions at the right time in my life. But, where's that margin of error? Excuse me. Where's the margin of error? In other words, what if I made one of those, instead of making a left, I made a right turn, and instead of being where I am now, I'm working a factory job, the graveyard shift, sorting screws somewhere for $6 an hour, and no health care, and no wife, no kids, because let's face it, if you're gonna get married, you better be able to support someone, right? Or at least, yes, at least if you're having kids, you should be able to support the kids. And so, the whole thing was, people take a lot of credit in this country. Growing up, you don't know the things I heard here. I mean, being in the United States, some of the, and they were, I say they were harmless comments, but a little bit of arrogance, and the whole growing up in the greatest country in the world, and if you put your mind to it, you can make it. But truth of the matter is that there's a lot of people that aren't making it out there, and sure, some of them are not making it because they're giving up, but it's also a lot harder today than it was 25 years ago. And my whole thing is that our margin of error in this country, we were talking about Greatex being in Scotland, and his margin of error is probably a lot smaller than over here in the United States, although our margin of error is shrinking. But it got me to thinking, my brother-in-law lives in Colombia, and in fact my whole in-laws most of them are down in Colombia, and they all are very hard workers, and they all are making it in a very competitive market where the margin of error is almost nil. I bring up my brother-in-law because he is got his degree in engineering. Her aunt runs her own business. Her father runs his own business, and they're by no means rich, but they're not bad for being in that depressed economy down in Colombia. So my point being that I thought about this, and I've told Erica this many times. I told her, me, if I change places with her brother is going to do fine here if her brother was here. But you send me down there, and I'm not so sure I'd make it. Partially because I didn't have to grow up in that competitive environment, and not cutthroat, but you know what I mean. I mean, very competitive. So you don't have the margin of error. You don't have that time to play around in school and then catch up later. If you just mess up, you mess up, and you're out of luck pretty much. I mean, you're behind the eight ball. Where here, if you mess up, well, you've got options. So I don't know. Well, I'm gonna have to cut this video because I see I'm rambling on, but that's basically what I want to say is that nobody should be so boastful to say that I made it because I'm great. Sure, hard work pays off, yada yada yada, but we should all know that just because you work hard doesn't mean that you reap the benefits. If you work hard and reap the benefits, yes, that is direct correlation, but there's plenty of people out there that work hard and make good decisions, but it's just not there for them. So let me cut it out. Until next time.